How about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, born to battle. Hey, hey, start just means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. Hey, hey, when the star shines bright, that's where we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And Cowboys Nation, I'm honestly starting to think that some of these talking heads are trying to speak negativity into existence for our Dallas Cowboys. On yesterday's episode of Speakeasy, they did a segment on George Pickens showing up at the Dallas Cowboys training facility to conduct his physical and to potentially start training with his team and his brothers. Y'all know, coming from two of the three hosts on Speakeasy, they're going to talk greasy in order for our Dallas Cowboys fans to be up in arms and worried about our team. Honestly, Cowboys Nation, there's going to be some advice that goes wrong that they give the Dallas Cowboys as well as George Pickens, and it's going to find themselves screwed in the long run. So we're going to take a listen to the three clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the guys over on Speakeasy as they try to speak things into existence against our Dallas Cowboys.
But I'm thinking two things. Either one, he's going to go there and not do nothing at all. Or two, is Jerry finally getting to him like, look, I ain't working with none of y'all players if he's your agent.
Don't even think about two. Use it one.
Okay.
Minicamp you can get fined for. You can't get fined for voluntary workouts. You can't even really get fined for OTAs. Shady knows. Minicamp, training camp, mandatory. That word mandatory before, it means you can get fined if you miss it. George Pickens ain't giving up no money.
Right.
He'll be at minicamp. Is he going to do anything at minicamp? Hell no.
His back hurt.
He going to be at minicamp, though. So I like how George Pickens is handling it. He's handling it in a manner that I'm not going to get fined. I'm going to protect my bread. But in the same breath, I'm not going to be playing. Shout out to him to going to minicamp. Going to minicamp is just to protect the $5, $10, $15, $20,000 that he might get fined. That's the only reason in my mind he goes to minicamp. If he puts on the cleats and he's on the field running them routes, that's a different thing. But I don't think, Kieran, this to me and Cowboys fans, do not get overly excited until you see George Pickens lined up against Deron Bland catching a go ball. Don't get excited until you see George Pickens running a slant and what's dude from Ohio State that just got drafted in the first round?
No, Caleb Downs.
And you see Caleb Downs coming downhill. Don't get excited about none of this. This, to me, is just George Pickens avoiding the fine. That's it.
Lord have mercy, Cowboys Nation. It's routes, Acho. Routes, not roots. Damn, that bugs the hell out of me, Cowboys Nation. But anyway, I swear, Emmanuel Acho sounds so confident, doesn't he, Cowboys Nation? So apparently, George Pickens is going to show up to mini camps and training camps and do absolutely nothing. If y'all seen my video from yesterday, y'all would know that George Pickens going to training camp and doing absolutely nothing would not help his case in getting the biggest bag from a team he either wants to be with or has Super Bowl aspirations. So he can play that game if he wants to, and Jerry Jones will make sure that he gets traded to the New York Jets or the Cleveland Browns. Don't believe me? Just ask Amari Cooper. Now let's go ahead and jump into the second clip so we can come back and talk about it. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
So do you think he's going to avoid a fine come training camp? Do you think he's going to hold out? Do you think he's going to...
Absolutely. It's the same playbook we saw.
Why not hold out now then?
But no, he's going to hold in. Deshaun Watson ran his playbook. Jalen Ramsey ran his playbook in Jacksonville. Deshaun Watson ran his playbook in Houston. Notice, Deshaun Watson didn't play again for Houston. Yeah. Jalen Ramsey didn't play again for Jacksonville. Michael Parsons was running this playbook in Dallas. Like, this is agents getting brilliant. And the brilliance is, in order for my athlete to not get fined, he has to be at practice.
He'll be there, yeah.
In order for him to not get fined, he has to have an injury. Well, what is the one injury that like you can't really validate or verify? Oh, a back injury. That's all this quite literally is. If owners want to play stupid games, owners will win stupid prizes. And a stupid game is, George Pickens, you gave us a 1,400-yard season. You balled when CD was out. We acquired you, 2-5, you know this. We acquired you knowing we got to pay you.
Yeah.
On some realness, Acho, when players play stupid games, players also win stupid prizes. And I know firsthand about the back injuries. Back injuries suck, Cowboys Nation. But there were some people that get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? People try to compare different situations in order to find precedents in their current situation. You know, kind of like an attorney finding case law that would pertain to their specific case. But we'll talk about that more during the Raw and Uncut portion. So make sure you stick around for that. Now let's go ahead and get into the third clip so we can come back and unpack this Raw and Uncut.
Trent McDuffie.
That's the thing I don't get, though. You knew you had to pay him. So he's had a whole contract situation with the Steelers.
Yep.
So, y'all made the trade to get him. Normally, when you make a trade for a player like him, you pay him when he gets there.
Top of the market.
Yo, look at the trade with Myles Garrett.
Yep.
Myles Garrett just got paid. Then they trade for him. They gave him a new deal. Everybody goes through that. So I don't understand. When I got traded from the Eagles, I was so mad when I got there. They made me the highest paid running back. So I'm like, okay, this is how it works. My thing is, bro, the Cowboys knew this. Now when it happens, it's like, oh, what are we doing here? It's the same thing when dudes do. This is why I don't know about the Cowboys sometimes, because they confuse me. Like Michael Parsons, you drafted him early. Yo, he sat out his last year of school.
Yeah.
So you really wanted him. You get him. He's everything you want him to be, one of the best, and then you don't pay him?
Yeah.
Not so fast, Shady. Y'all should have done your research before getting up on that stage and talking all that talk. You know what I'm saying? Facts over feelings. So allow me to give y'all a little bit of facts right now. Y'all ready for this Raw and Uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, Raw and Uncut.
Keeping it real, man. Keep it real. That's real.
All right, Cowboys Nation. First and foremost, allow me to correct LeSean Shady McCoy with that last clip that he said, referring to signing George Pickens when the Dallas Cowboys first acquired him. And I'm going to do that by stepping over to DallasCowboys.com's article written by Tommy Yarish. All right, Cowboys Nation, we are over here on DallasCowboys.com looking at the Tommy Yarish article written on October 15, 2025. Y'all see the headline, George Pickens wouldn't mind staying with the Dallas Cowboys long term. All right, when the Cowboys traded for George Pickens in the offseason, they hoped that his addition to the offense would open things up for CD Lamb and take Dallas's passing game with Dak Prescott to the next level. He's gone beyond their expectations during the first 6 games of the season with the most receiving touchdowns in the NFL, 6, and third most receiving yards, 525 in the league, helping the Cowboys' offense stay explosive in Lamb's absence. Now the big question looms for both Pickens and the Cowboys. Pickens is in his final year of his rookie contract and becomes an unrestricted free agent after the season. Both sides have agreed after the trade several months ago that they would see how things played out, but Pickens' play thus far brings up the question of if the Dallas Cowboys should extend him before the end of the year. Y'all see that last little statement right there, didn't you, Cowboys Nation? It said, again, and I repeat, both sides agreed after the trade several months ago that they'd see how things played out. Let's go ahead and go back to the station real quick so I can get more in depth about this. You see, Cowboys Nation? It wasn't just on Jerry and Stephen Jones as to why George Pickens was not given a brand new contract when the Dallas Cowboys first traded for him. Both sides agreed to allow George Pickens to just show what he was made of before they considered negotiating a long-term deal. But I tell you, Cowboys Nation, these talking heads will give the advice to a player in their alleged best interest of the player. But how would that benefit Pickens if he were to show up to minicamp and training camp and hold in? It would show other 31 teams who didn't bite on any type of trades in the past free agency period when David Mulugeta was calling around to test the waters. So why would they be chomping at the bits while a player is in the middle of a hold-in with his current team? Then Emmanuel Acho tried to give precedence to the situation by comparing it to Deshaun Watson, and LeSean Shady McCoy compared it to the Micah Parsons situation, even though he called him Michael Parsons. I don't know why people do that. But anyway, I've also had one of my content creating brothers say the same thing. My thing is this, Cowboys Nation. These comparisons are not the same. It's like comparing apples to oranges in a particular situation. Deshaun Watson was drafted by the Houston Texans, and he played out his rookie deal with the Texans. Deshaun Watson was drafted by the Houston Texans and played for the organization until he was eventually traded to the Cleveland Browns 5 years later. Watson never held out while playing for the Houston Texans, but he did request a trade after gaining frustrations with the front office of the Texans as well as the coaching staff in 2021. This was after the Houston Texans extended Watson to a 4-year, $160 million contract with nearly $111 million in guarantees. He would eventually sit out due to off-the-field issues in 2021 and would then be traded to the Cleveland Browns in 2022 for a boatload of draft capital. Then they mentioned the Micah Parsons situation. Again, Cowboys Nation, Micah Parsons was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in 2020. He played for the Dallas Cowboys for 4 years. He put all-pro caliber film out there every single year he was with the Dallas Cowboys. These situations are not the same. Another example that was given was the example of Ezekiel Elliott or Zach Martin or Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and even Dak Prescott. The latter showing up to every team event while negotiating. No holdouts, no hold-ins. He reported to work and was eventually given his extension, extended to be the highest contract of a quarterback in NFL history. And as far as Ezekiel Elliott, just like Deshaun Watson, the Dallas Cowboys drafted Ezekiel Elliott. He had put out 4 years of dominant film before going to Cabo and holding out. Zach Martin had been with the team for 9 years before holding out to get paid. CeeDee Lamb, he was with the team for 4 years before holding out as well. Every one of these players, minus Amari Cooper, were homegrown by the Dallas Cowboys. They all put up multiple years of great film and dedication to the organization before having to exercise their right to hold out. After 1 year, after one great year with the Dallas Cowboys, George Pickens should hold out or hold in? Come on, Cowboys Nation. But like I've said before, Cowboys Nation, I'm not advocating for George Pickens to not get paid by the Dallas Cowboys, but I completely understand why they put the franchise tag on him. The Dallas Cowboys want him to be on this team for the foreseeable future. Jerry Jones has went and talked glowingly about George Pickens, but it is what it is, Cowboys Nation. They want to see one more year of productivity. The Cowboys want him to be on this team for the foreseeable future, but they want to make sure that they're going to get a return on their investment. They want to make sure that he's going to be the soldier for this team. That doesn't mean taking team-friendly discounts, but it does mean going out there and playing the way we all know that he can play on a consistent basis. Going to training camp and holding in is not going to work in George Pickens' favor. Claiming that his back hurts only to show up and not get fined? That's going to land him in a situation where 31 other teams are witnessing his defiance. Honestly, those who care about George Pickens' welfare should not be advocating for him to hold in just because we all know what Jerry Jones won't hesitate in doing. Jerry Jones won't hesitate in trading him to the damn moon, never to be heard from again. Just ask Amari Cooper. But it's apparent that George Pickens does not have the leverage that some people think he has in this situation. If he holds in and misses critical time with his team during training camp and mini camps, do you think that's really in the best interest of George Pickens? So I'm going to keep it a thou-wow with your Cowboys Nation. I don't feel it's in the best interest for George Pickens, David Mulugeta, or the Dallas Cowboys for George Pickens to hold in, hold out, or request a trade trying to force Jerry's hand. I don't feel it would work in the best interest for George Pickens, nor do I think he would benefit from it. Sometimes, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Some people will talk about how long it took Dak Prescott to get his top-of-the-market money, but guess what, Cowboys Nation? He got his top-of-the-market money. I don't care if it took him all the way up to the first game of the regular season. Dak Prescott became the highest-paid quarterback in NFL history, but continued to do his job at a high level and showing up to his team meetings, minicamps, OTAs, training camp, while negotiating his contract. I feel if George Pickens does the same, he'll receive the same outcome. He may not be the highest paid wide receiver in the league, and quite frankly, no other team is going to make him the highest paid wide receiver in the league either. So, do you try your luck at being a headache for your current team, or do you bet on yourself and put it all out there on the line? I'm pretty sure the latter will almost guarantee a hefty bag for GP3. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Cowboys Nation, I know we're beating a dead horse with this whole topic, but I had to get my raw and uncut out there again on this topic. It's not only Speakeasy trying to talk Pickens into doing something that's not advantageous for him as well as the Dallas Cowboys, but what do you think, Cowboys Nation? Should George Pickens hold in, or should he bet on himself? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and you want to help get the word out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video, share it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're on your mobile device and you haven't used them up yet, make sure you hype this video. Doing so could help get the word out to Cowboys fans. They'll come over to the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel and want to become Angry Cowboys fans themselves. And if you are DC for life and you cannot wait until this drama is done and over with, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I drop even more content from the Angry Cowboys Fan YouTube channel. Also, if you're into Madden 26 or College Football 26 or Mortal Kombat talk, check out my other YouTube channel, the Angry Gaming Fan YouTube channel. I'll make sure I put the link to that as well as the gamer tag in the description. There was one point where Cowboys fans were itching to trade George Pickens for an elite edge rusher. Now it's hurry up and pay him after 1 year of positive productivity? I hope he gets a contract that everyone is happy with, but I also understand if he plays 2026 on the franchise tag, at least we still have him as a Dallas Cowboy and we're able to conduct more business in the future. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.